Forget about which party you are belong to. Islam first.
Okay.
But at this time, on this case, Islam is first.
Sheikh Abdul Malik
the joint press release by the Christian Council of Ghana and the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference. Of course, these are two very big Christian organizations.
Right.
And for them to have just given their endorsement meant that there's a certain solidarity of the Christian community against the Muslim community in Ghana.
At this case, Islam is first, and we are focusing on the case.
And for me,
we'll get that press statement to read it out.
For me, that is very dangerous. It has made nonsense of all this long period of claim that Muslims and Christians here in Ghana are tolerant of each other. I think it has been just a facade.
And we will be there in the court, and we want the right thing to be done.
Do you think it's been a facade?
I think, in my view, but I have become convinced that we have not been honest with ourselves.
It has been a facade.
It's been a facade because, look, for the Christian community not to even show a little consideration. Even
you mean by the representations?
Even in the presentation, no reference was made to the plea of the national chief imam, who has entered into the church on 2 occasions, entered into the church to change a certain perception. You see, what I'm getting the impression is that the faster we are trying to de-radicalize the Muslim youth, the greater the Christian community is becoming extremist in the way they are dealing with this matter. That's my impression.
They are not Kramofo yebenya sika. Na sebese yebesi schools, yebesi hospitals. Yenye masalachi. Street ba ko masalachi 3 and I was no schools, no hospitals. And that's sebese nyame mpangu say yenu ma Christopher kraka sa mo nhwe ye. Ya mo nhwe Kramofo bia hospital a. Enifa na yeko.
If you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
Now, this is the penultimate number and it's number 2. At number 2, I present to you Kweku Afrique. Wow! This guy has a thunderous voice. Like, when he speaks, you wanna listen. I've been able to watch a couple of his videos and I sincerely will tell you that he makes great impression in whatever content he's going to present. Thank you so much, Mr. Kweku. Keep up the good work.
So it seems, the case between the Muslims and Christians in Ghana is not dying anytime soon. Now, if you've been watching the channel, I have done a video of how, a person has taken Wesley Girls High School to court for allegedly preventing Muslims from fasting in their school. In fact, the Wesley Girls High School, they have prevented all forms of fasting because they think that it doesn't help effective learning. So they ban fasting from the school. Whether you were Christian, whether you were Muslim, whoever you are. Now, the story is now in court because somebody took it to court. And we've had the the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, commenting about this in Parliament. We've had, the Minister of Interior also commenting about this, that Wesley Girls even send spies to go and monitor or spy on the Muslim girls who want to fast. So the issue is in court. We're just waiting for the verdict. But there seemed to be another trending story. So this person, who is Sheikh Abdul Malik Maiga, has said and revealed, should I say he has threatened? Because it looks like he's threatening. He's saying that for them, the Muslim community, for them, they are religion first. And that they are expecting nothing from the ruling, apart from them winning the case. That is what they are expecting from this court case. I don't know what to call that, but to be fair to them, in fact, they said they are monitoring the case. They are monitoring with close eyes, and that on the day of on the court verdict, in fact, they Muslims are going to go to court.
I am calling upon this government, please. We are people of peace. We want to live in peace with our Christian brothers, but we will always fight for our rights. Wallahi duk abin da ya zama namu na musulunci. Forget about which party you are belong to. Islam first. Musulunci shine abin da ke gaban mu. Idan musulunci ta ta ci ta koshi sannan mu waiwaya duniya which party we are going to support. But at this time, on this case, Islam is first. At this case, Islam is first, and we are focusing on the case, and we will be there in the court, and we want the right thing to be done.
And the PRO of Sheikh Osman Sharubutu, who is the national chief imam, has also revealed on TV3 that, in fact, this case has revealed to them that, in fact, there is no Christian and Ghana unity in Ghana. In fact, it is just a facade. We are just massaging, just a facade. You understand? That we are just pretending. Christians are pretending to like Muslims. Muslims are also pretending to like Christians, to the extent that the chief imam has visited the church 2 times. Now he comes to the realization that there is no love and unity between Christians and Muslims in Ghana.
Press release, the joint press release by the Christian Council of Ghana and the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference. Because these are 2 very big Christian organizations.
Right.
And for them to have just given their endorsement meant that there's a certain solidarity of the Christian community against the Muslim community in Ghana.
We'll get that press statement to read it out.
For me, that is very dangerous. It has made nonsense of all this long period of claim that Muslims and Christians here in Ghana are tolerant of each other. I think it has been just the facade.
Do you think it's been a facade?
I think, in my view, but I have become convinced that we have not been honest with ourselves in the claim that we are really, our cooperation with the community, I'm saying from the mind.
On this occasion, I'm just hoping that, Sheikh, you are wrong on this. On this occasion, I'm just hoping. I don't want to believe that it has been a facade.
It's been a facade because, look, for the Christian community not to even show a little consideration. A little consideration.
And you mean by the representations?
Even in the presentation, no reference was made to the plea of the national chief imam, who has entered into the church on 2 occasions, entered into the church to change a certain perception. You see, what I'm getting the impression is the faster we are trying to de-radicalize the Muslim youth, the greater the Christian community is becoming extremist in the way they are dealing with it. That's my impression.
Wow.
Faster as we.
But another scholars, Muslim scholars, are not blaming Ghana or are not blaming Wesley grammar. According to them, the community or the Muslim community in Ghana have failed to invest into things that can resource them, or resourceful things. They have failed to build schools. They have failed to promote their own schools. Instead, they rely on schools which are built by the Methodists, schools which are built by Christians, and still expect these Christians to practice or allow them have their freedom. According to them, it doesn't work like that. So Muslims should stop investing in mosques, designing mosques everywhere, and rather invest into schools and things that can also promote their religion.
In fact, Christianity, as we all know, whether we agree or not, has been the religion that brought about secular education into the country, to a point where they had schools scattered around the whole country before the Muslims adopted schooling. And so because of this, it is eminent and evident and clear that they will have to have schools more than us as Muslims. We have also devised our ways of engaging our children in their schooling systems. That is, sending our children to their schools because they established it. Name them Methodist, Presby, Anglican, SDA, and the rest of the Catholic schools or Christian schools. A time came where the Muslim community also started opening schools, but they were meant for the teaching of Arabic. That is the learning of the Quran and then the doctrines of the religion called Islam, in quote. So clearly, it was a case of schooling that was meant or seen to be Christianized or a schooling system seen to be Muhammadized. Not until a point where the Muslims realized that not only what they were doing will not guarantee them anything as in development, but they saw that it was important for them to also inculcate that form of education called Western education into their system, so that their children will also be exposed to the larger world. And so they adopted it, and it's in court. Okay, now my point of view is this: it is better that we as Muslims also build our schools and standardize them to meet up with the conditions that are needed or favorable to our children. The Christian schools are not better than our Islamic schools. The problem is we as Muslims are not concentrating on how to develop our human capacity. All we are interested in is building of masajids, mosques, and beautifying them in order to rival each other. The Christians have every right to deny our children who are in their schools to practice their faith, because their schools were built based on their faith, based on the teachings of their faith. And so you cannot come to do something different of what they are teaching there or what they believe in that particular school.
And on the street too, a number of people are also commenting on this issue, either blaming the Christian community.
Where a wake-up call to all Muslims in Ghana. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, on the course of social media, Wesley Girls headmistress was say on Ramadan saying cramophone so on Maya fasting on the Omepamumo free school. And then as I do as a sastio, me tell me cause a school, me call Christian school. A yenche bad from primary. A yenche se obako chapel, obako masalet, obako sorry. Maybe I senior high school, the same thing. And look at there, and yet your friend is saying, and yet a Christian school, but Christians teachers in a dorsum, a yenche se obako worship. They say, baby, I go to say we a cramoni, we a Muslim, not a sabi one call chapel, and I say one what we practice fita on my pamo on the Wesley Girls headmistress in the kind. Where a wake up call my you. Cramophone ye 5 times a day. I saw the be anywhere Asia saying young cramophone Muslims. Moment can cray. Ye share 5 times a day. I am matching 5 near Shia. About 12 to 1 near Shia. About 3 Yabishia. About 6 Yabishia. About 7 to 8 Ghana time American Yabishia. But we don't even have a plan. We don't even have one plan. Me mala no rudu no ka se mi wose hwe sankan kramofo anka kramoni bia ba masalachi and every day oma 5 cities. We don't say 1 city every day, 1 city. How many days and within 1 month to 2 months to 3 months 4 months bibi anyway ntimi nye. And then yan hwe de ekoso Christopher school na ne yeko and omo ka kire yen kwala say omo mpene mo nya fasting, omo mpene mo nya sallah. Wa ne ekoso they are not pan kramofo ye bi ye benya sika. Na sebe ye besi schools, ye besi hospitals, ye nye masalachi, street back masalachi 3 and I was no schools, no hospitals. And that sebe nyamin pango say ye nwa Christopher Kraka sa mo nhwe ye mo nhwe nkramofo bia hospital a enifa ne yeko nkramofo hospitals ahene ye wo ye de ye nya obi ye Sheikh Ami Bunsu Army Scientific Herbal. Gramophone Army Scientific Herbal Hospital. Gramophone na eko. Obi di ye and gramophone ye mu bibe pushi no. Debi o na ye se no. Ye problem no no. En na nde Ghana ye koso. Nda wo yere kramosum e kire se wo yere ewo a. Oba be wo na se wo yere bemba bi ntimi sum. Ende wo yere nyemo a. Na wa kọ Kristo ni doctor. Ona ebe ma ona be check wo yere. Na ode ne nsa aye de afechiri na se ana sebe wabue na o check no. Enye se bia or feeling bio and answer or new year better na bibi. So I'm not saying that too. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is a haram say anka bema for behwe yere and obeso no mumpu. But any options. Any option oko Saudi Arabia na Islamic State oba na hwe oba bema na hwe bimba. And then the Ghana ye bi. we yere nyem kra na nurse aba be so e be ma na so because we ni bi ye leaders na omwo ye won kramusum no leaders no e de ne yekoso munja masalachi ne si na mu fancy hospitals munja masalachi na mu fancy schools say ye wo schools a esen Wesley Girls anka Wesley Girls want to be make in some way nkire yen obi asebe onni kuratwe man kramusum no e ona nya ne ya sa wo kuratwe man kramusum a na woni dini a obubefu ebe ye wo ya nkramusum Islam say like rafidi nkramoni biere ni ho a ono beko masalachi ye fa ne say obeko ye fa ne say beko Islamic schools e bia Islamic school na ya kase obi anko masalachi na obewie na Kristo na kase okọ ne church akọbọ mpa a ye beka say ye mpene